What's going on, guys? It's Testimony Tuesday with your fitness bestie, Elisa Licious, and today we have special guest Shay. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself and what she does for a living, things of that nature. Shay, go ahead and take it away.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning. My name is Shea Fleming, and I am a director of diversity and belonging. But besides that, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, auntie, godmother, et cetera, et cetera. I love to work out, and so I usually am at the gym around three days a week.
Mhm.
But outside of that, I love to hike. Like I'm a nature girl, so I actually feel most rejuvenated when I'm out in the trees or on the water. And so, if I had to choose, I would actually go outside and do something before I would go in the gym. But I love to be outside. I also enjoy reading. I feel like reading is everything. There are so many amazing authors out there, and so I find myself reading as much as I can. It's summer, so I have a lot of free time to do that. Other things about me, I've been an educator now for 20 years. And so I really do believe in the power of education, educating our kids, educating ourselves. Like I'm a lifelong learner. Just kind of connecting to the gym, being at the gym, I've learned a lot about myself, like my fitness levels, also like how far I can push myself mentally and physically. And so I think that's been a part of my learning curve, has been also being a member of Blaze fitness. Other things about me, family is super important. I've lived all around the world. Most recently, I was in Seattle. I returned home exactly a year ago, actually, to be closer to family. Atlanta is my home. And so I was missing my parents, my nieces and my nephews, my brothers, my sister. And so I came home to be closer to them and just to build those relationships or keep cultivating those relationships, which I think are going to be the most important thing. They're always the most important thing, but especially as I get older, when I'm an elderly woman, I want to need those relationships more so than I want to need my travels or my career or my degrees. So back in Atlanta, rediscovering a city and just grateful.
Yeah, sounds good. It sounds like you have a very fulfilling life, like all of the areas you're kind of just hitting it on all those things. So that's really cool. Obviously, fitness is is gonna have to be a part of it, especially if you want to build those relationships. Like you said, in the future, your health is going to be number one. So how do you feel like you prioritize keeping fitness into your lifestyle since you have so many other things that you could be doing?
Absolutely. So to me, fitness is not optional. Like I have to do that. I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I drink lots of water. I have to also do fitness. So I feel like to me, I mean, there are days when I really am tired and I don't make myself go do anything because I do feel like rest is also very important. But I think about like being a well-rounded person, being balanced, being healthy, physically, spiritually, mentally, all the ways, financially, etc.
Mhm.
Fitness is a part of that. And so to me, it's not optional in that, oh, well, I worked out last Monday, I'll just skip this week kind of thing. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I skipped this morning because I was like, I can't do it.
I can't do it
Um,
today. Yeah.
but I will probably walk this evening and I did some yoga this morning. And so I will move my body in some kind of way. But I do believe in the balance of rest and just, keep my body hydrated and healthy. But fitness also, I think, is a huge piece of everything else. Like I'm able to do my work well because I'm fit. And
Right.
I think I'm lifting weights or jogging or walking or hiking. It helps me to feel sharper mentally as well. So they're all the mind, the body, the spirit, they're all interconnected. So I feel like one doesn't tick without the other. So you need all of them to be working together in balance.
What were you drawn to initially by Blaze that kind of motivated you to start working out here?
Yeah. So I returned to Atlanta late June, early July in 2023. So about a year ago. And I have this thing called Class Pass,
Yeah,
which
okay.
I'd been a member of since I think 2019. And so I was in Atlanta, Lithonia, Conyers, just all over. I was staying with my father in Conyers for a few weeks until I found my spot here in Cumberland,
Mhm.
right in Atlanta. And so I was looking for classes in the area.
Yeah.
One day I was at work. I work in Marietta, and I was like, what are some fitness classes around here? And so I just kind of searched, like I don't know what I put in. I don't know if I put in high intensity or if I put in just gym. I don't know what I put in, but Blaze popped. And I
Okay.
was like, so I clicked on it. And I will be honest with you, the first thing that drew me to me was all these Black women that were on the logo or the screenshot. I was like, who are all these Black people and where do they work out? This is Blaze. Like, I got to check this out. So I think it was actually the image of other Black women that caught my attention because I'd never been to a gym I mean, I've been to many gyms and there's always Black women and all kinds of people there, men, women, different, diversity. But I'd never seen a gym where there are Black women advertised first. So I was like, what is this? So it kind of took me off guard
Mhm.
and drew my attention. So I said, I'm going to try this one day after work. My job is like 5 minutes down the road from Blaze. And so I literally just showed up, just gave it a try. And it was so hard. I was like, what have I done? Crazy. It was that warm up was out of control.
Mhm.
I just kept coming, and I think the initial thing that drew me were those images of Black women. Some of them were there, some of them were not. And I thought, maybe this is a place of community just based on the images. Not that, it's not going to be a place of community and belonging. And so I showed up, and I've been there since I think maybe August, maybe of 2023.
Mhm.
But I was on a class pass, like I was using that class pass like
Yeah.
every, and then it wasn't until I believe maybe late February, somewhere in there, Jonathan said, "Why don't you join the gym?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, why don't I join the gym?
Yeah. As far as since you came, you said that it seemed like a place of community and belonging. Do you feel like that kind of still reigns true as far as you coming there consistently? How does it compare to your initial thought? Do you think that it's better? Do you think that it's kind of exactly what you thought? In what areas do you think it's very similar?
Sure. So I think what drew me was the idea of community when I saw all these Black women kind of like posted up together, kind of leaning, and there was a warmth in the picture as well. So whoever designed and kind of, I guess, whatever blocked that image, really, it was powerful for me. And so upon showing up as I was there, I felt like the picture actually was true. It was advertisement for sure. It was excellent marketing for me. I also felt like, oh, like this is legit. Like what I saw in that image actually is what's happening in the space. Examples of that would be like, even like my first few times going there, people are like, oh, that was great. Don't worry, Shay, it's hard the first
Just keep
time.
going.
I mean, exactly. So there was like a lot of like kindness and care, and maybe even like a level of love for each other, like as human beings, like in this space, while we all have our different goals and we're all at different levels of fitness and whatever, like there's a lot of just like kindness in the space and no judgment. Like you can tell people are different levels of just lifting and jogging and, doing some of the interval training. But there was just like, I felt like a genuine, um, just care for each other. Like, you got this. That
Mhm.
was great. I even had one lady tell me last week, Shay, you can lift more than that. Like, I know you can. Like, let's try to add some more weight. So there's just like this encouragement. So I just feel like what's been created in that space feels very unique to me. Like, I've not been in gyms that have that vibe. And to me, to me, it makes Blaze stand apart of all the other gyms that I've been to. Equipment, things like that. Equipment is equipment. I feel like a space is a space, but I feel like creating community, belonging, joy, kindness, that doesn't happen in a lot of gyms.
Yeah.
So yes, it's true. The advertisement was true with what my experience has been. Yeah.
Hey, as far as like you personally, I know we were talking about the community with everyone else. Do you feel
Mhm.
like you personally have reached any goals or seen any difference since you started going to Blaze? Whether it be, like you said, mentally you were working on that or physically or whatever the case. Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So when I joined Blaze, I really joined just to keep my body moving. And so I didn't, and maybe this sounds terrible because I'm very goal oriented and I like to have goals in my vision board and all this stuff in my house. And I keep a journal, so I'm always writing and reflecting. But I didn't really have a goal, like a specific goal when I joined Blaze. I really was just trying to just keep my body moving, just like keep moving, just keep moving at all costs.
Mhm.
And then maybe meet a few people.
Yeah.
So I think it wasn't until March Madness I found myself in the finals, and I told Jonathan, I don't know how in the world this happened. Like I joined officially in February. I think March Madness started shortly after.
Mhm.
And I found myself in the final round against Vinny, who is an amazing human, wonderful person at the gym.
Yeah.
And so when I was in that final, I was like, Shay, so what are your goals here? And I said, well, I'm going to try to win.
Yeah.
Uh, but it wasn't until March Madness I started thinking, why don't you have a more specific goal? Like, what are you trying to do with your body? And so, honestly, I still don't know what my goal is. I've lost weight. I can lift heavier weights. I'm tighter. I think I've dropped some fat, but I still don't have like these numbers or targets in my head. And I'm not sure if I think it's okay. I don't know. I'm just kind of kind of keep myself moving. I know my clothes are a little bit loose now versus when I started almost a year ago at
Mhm.
the gym. So I need to maybe think about my goals. I had a friend that said to me, "You're going to be spinning in circles. What are your goals?" And I'm like,
And to be fit.
and because I also know with a goal with me, I can get really,
Like
I'm driven.
tunnel vision, like competitive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I actually stop enjoying it. So if it's too much, I'll find myself, you got to go there, Shay, get up, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I will almost, I'll lose the joy. And so I think at this stage in my life, I'm really trying to just focus on like joy. I see some gains. I'm consistent. So things happen. I eat well
Yeah.
most days.
Yeah.
Gosh. Um, the goal, I think I do need to figure out a goal, but I don't want the stress of the goal and having to be on a scale and taking the measurements. And I've seen gains. And also, I think more than anything, physically, like mentally, I feel sharper. There are things that I had never done before I joined Blaze. Pushing a sleigh across a gym. I'd never done some of these things before,
Mhm.
and so it's always been fun when one of the trainers, one of the coaches, say, "Hey, we're going to do this," and I'm just like, "Wait, what is this? How do I do this? What is this now?" I don't even know if I can do it. And I just try it. I'm
Right.
like, "Oh, I can do it." So I think there's been a lot of like more so than the physical, there's been like a mental expansion where I realize like I'm stronger, I'm more courageous. I'm a risk taker in some ways that I never thought I was just by trying new exercises or new routines or new movements. So I think that's kind of been the greatest gain is I can do this in the gym. I can also apply this skill of taking a risk in my life outside of gyms. So that's kind of been the greatest gain, more so than to see my body, develop more muscle and drop more fat. It's been the mental shift has been amazing.
Wow, you are giving really good answers. I'm over here like, you need to have a podcast. Uh-huh.
As well.
Last question. If you were to give yourself advice before you came to Blaze or give somebody advice that is thinking about joining Blaze, what would you say to them?
Hmm. I would tell them just show up. Just show up. Just get there. Because what I have found to be true in almost my year being a member, or not a member, being a part of the community,
Mhm.
is that when I step into the door, I may be tired, I may be discouraged after a terrible day at work or just things happening personally, etc. I feel like when I show up, everything else just kind of happens. And so whether or not I'm able to stay in that whatever heart rate, the blue zone or the yellow zone the whole time, gain a certain amount of points, I don't think it really matters every single class. I walk away feeling better in some way. And so I would tell somebody to just show up. The coaches and trainers will have your workout ready for you. You don't even think about it. Just get yourself there. And it's really not a lot you have to do is just show up and just give it what you have that day. Whatever your best is, actually, because sometimes my best is staying blue the whole time. Someone's saying yellow. It doesn't even matter. Just get there and do something. Because after showing up, I always leave feeling better, more lifted, and all physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So just get yourself to the space. If you got to get there late, just get there. Just
Get
show up. Something that
yeah.
be amazed to see what you walk away with.
Okay. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sharing, Shay, sharing your story with everyone and your time today. And that's all I have for you guys. Catch you guys next time on Testimony Tuesday.
Bye.